How's everybody doing? This is Eric, the owner of Acker's Chimney Services, and I have a very unique and unusual chimney job that I'm getting ready to do. The homeowner contacted me yesterday afternoon and it was having a change of homeowner insurance policy, and they sent out someone to look at the house, I guess, and they flagged the exterior of the chimney for being having a creosote build up and a creosote problem. And I've taken pictures, I've walked around it. I mean, we don't have it's a one-story house, and we have like maybe 5 to 7 feet of height of brick. Houses, I'm guessing in this particular neighborhood, probably 40, 45, 50 years old. It's an older subdivision in the west side of Houston. And we do have, now also look at this, before I talk about what they flagged, this masonry crown has been redone. This looks like it was redone just based on what I'm seeing here, probably in the last 3 years. It looks relatively new. I would have done it a little bit different. You see how they left this, no flue extension, cap has started to rust, but that's all fine. It's still functional, but this might be allowing a little bit of water to get in. But the crown has been redone. So what was happening when the crown had failed, it was allowing water to saturate down, and what you're seeing this black is just mold mildew. And it's really on a scale of 1 to 10, not that bad. Look at the other side. The other side, a little bit here, a little bit on. It's all, and you always, when you go further down, you see less and less. This chimney is also, when they put on the masonry crown overlay, or if it was a rebuild, they did some tuck pointing too. So you got a little aggregate in this. So when they tuck pointed it, they didn't even use a sand mix. They used an actual mortar mix. Kind of interesting. More of it, they tuck pointed with the mortar mix. You got some staircasing here. This could be some issue with foundation, but older house like that, not surprised to see something like that. Look on this side, a little bit more black, but I mean, I guess if you're in the business and you're up on roofs and looking at chimneys all the time, this is like nothing. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's a 1 or 2. It's just like, I guess comparatively, everything's relative and it's comparatively speaking. But what I'm running across in the last 3 or 4 years are in some of these homeowner insurance policies, smaller companies are sending people out looking for reasons to try to cancel policies. It seems like it's something I've just started hearing about in the last 3, 4 years. It could be something as simple. This is the first time I've heard of it because of this, but it's something to be aware of when you go with a smaller insurance company. Now, what they're calling this, or what their adjuster, I guess it's an adjuster, insurance agent, or maybe just some random flunky, they're saying that this black is creosote. It's not creosote at all. You never have creosote on the outside. Well, I shouldn't say never. Very unusual. For one thing, if you had creosote on the outside here, let's say it's coming through here and building up and going down, every time it rains, that creosote gets washed off. It's almost, a matter of fact, when you're burning your fireplace and you have a traditional masonry fireplace with a clay flue tile without a cap and you're burning all the time, typically when they don't have a cap, and even though they have a heavy buildup in the firebox, that rain washes that creosote buildup off the flue tile, the inner flue tile. So you're never going to have a buildup of creosote on the outside. So whoever came out and said that didn't know or doesn't know a thing about creosote or chimneys or fireplaces, which then again, it's a specialty business. People probably, before I started 25 years ago, I didn't know either. So although I grew up with fireplaces and burning, so maybe I was a little bit ahead of the learning curve. So I haven't done anything other than a walk around, taking some pictures and a video. We'll go ahead and apply. I don't know. We've got a couple of different options what I'm going to apply. I'm going to look at it, reread everything before I make a decision. What I'll also do is bring up the hose, saturate all the shingles and whatnot, so we can try to avoid any lightening of the shingles because of the substance or the chemical. And then I'll saturate this down, apply the chemical, let it sit for 15 or so minutes, rinse it off again, reapply the chemical, and hit it some of the areas with a poly brush. That's typically the way I do jobs like this. If you ever have a company that comes out and they want to try to sell you get pressure washed, and you have an older house and you're not sure about the makeup of the brick or the mortar, be extremely careful. I've seen a lot of damage with people hitting it with the wrong pressure on their pressure washing systems and just blow out not only the mortar joints, which you're not seeing here, but these mortar joints, depending upon what it was laid with or what type of bricks you have. If you have what we call Mexican bricks down here, I've seen massive amounts of damage with having people that just don't know what they're doing. So proceed with anybody trying to sell you a pressure wash with a grain of caution. This is Eric. This is a little narrative on a job before I start. Have a great day, and we'll catch you later.